Hey everyone, and welcome back to our Disneyland Hotel Diary series. You know the drill by now. We do all the research, the good, the bad, and everything in between for hotels all around the resort. Today, we are diving deep into a really popular option, especially for families, the Element Anaheim Resort. We've all been there. One of the biggest, and let's be real, one of the most stressful parts of planning is just figuring out where to stay. You're trying to balance convenience, comfort, and, of course, your budget. So, is the Element the answer? Well, that's what we're here to figure out today. Okay, so here's our game plan. First, we're going to break down its location and that all-important walk to the parks. Then, we'll peek inside the rooms and see what the amenities are all about. After that, we'll get into the real stuff, the perks versus the quirks, based on what hundreds of guests have said. And we'll wrap it all up with the final verdict. Let's get into it. All right, first up, location. And for a Disneyland trip, this is everything, right? I mean, it can literally make or break your vacation, especially when you're dragging tired kids or yourself back at the end of a long night. So, what's the #1 selling point for the Element? It is the walk. We're talking an easy 2-block stroll to the Disneyland Resort entrance. That short distance means you can pop back to the hotel for a midday nap or a quick swim without ever having to think about shuttles or parking. For families, that is a total game changer. And it's not just about being close to the parks. You've got everything right there. The Anaheim Convention Center is super close, which is great if you're in town for an event. And you've got restaurants like Fire Plus Ice and Johnny Rockets just minutes away for those times you don't want to eat inside the park. Having all of this right at your fingertips is a huge time and money saver. Okay, so the location is a huge win. But what about the room itself? You know, the place you actually have to crash after walking about 1,000,000 miles. Let's take a look inside and see what really sets this hotel apart for families. So this is where the Element really separates itself from, say, a typical motel. Instead of just a standard room, you're getting a spacious suite, and a lot of them have separate living and sleeping areas, and this is big. You get a fully equipped kitchen, not just a tiny mini fridge. Plus, a free hot breakfast is included every single day. When you add all that up, you're looking at some serious value. And you can tell they really lean into that family angle. They've got these awesome kids' suites with bunk beds, which, kids absolutely go nuts for. You also get all the practical stuff, free Wi-Fi, a fitness center, and an outdoor pool with BBQ areas. Oh, and a big one for some of us, pets are welcome here too. All right, now for what I think is the most important part of any review. Every single hotel has its amazing high points, and it's not so high points. So let's get into the perks versus the quirks and really weigh the pros and cons based on what actual guests are saying online. Before we dive into the specific comments, let's just look at the raw data. The guest scores are pretty strong across the board. Cleanliness gets a 4.6 out of 5, and location gets a 4.5. Service comes in a little lower, but still a really solid 4.2. So this tells us that for most people, the experience here is overwhelmingly positive. But the real story is always in the details. Okay, let's break it down. On the perks side, guests absolutely rave about the stellar and friendly staff. You'll see specific employees mentioned by name over and over in reviews. People love that the rooms are clean, modern, and spacious. And of course, that free hot breakfast and the whole family-friendly setup are huge wins. Now for the quirks, the single most common complaint, by far, is about uncomfortable beds. Others mention that the pool is kind of small and doesn't have a jacuzzi. Some found the breakfast variety to be a bit limited, sausage patties but no bacon, and a few people pointed out that the parking spots can be pretty tight. Hey, just gonna jump in real quick. If you're finding this breakdown helpful for planning your big trip, it would be awesome if you could hit that subscribe button and give this explainer a like. It really helps us keep making more Disneyland Hotel Diaries for you. Thanks a bunch. Okay, back to it. Now, of course, not every stay is perfect. While most reviews are glowing, it's really important to know that some guests have had seriously negative experiences. This review from Janine J. details a really chaotic stay that involved 3 different room changes and, most concerning, a pretty significant security incident that left her daughter afraid to sleep. So the takeaway here is that while the average stay seems to be great, you have to know that major service and safety issues have been reported, and that's something you just have to weigh in your decision. Okay, let's bring it all home. We've talked about the amazing location, the super family-friendly rooms, and the very real perks and quirks. So, what's the final verdict? Is the Element Anaheim's the right hotel for your Disneyland trip? Let's make this super simple. This hotel is probably going to be perfect for you if you're a family that really needs the extra space that a suite gives you. If having a full kitchen to cook some meals and save money is a huge deal. If a free hot breakfast is high up on your priority list. If a short, easy walk to the parks is absolutely non-negotiable for you. And finally, if you prefer a clean, modern hotel design over, say, an immersive, themed Disney resort experience. And hey, if you do decide this is the place for you, here are a few pro tips we pulled directly from guest reviews to make your stay even better. First, get to the pool early. A lot of people say it's on the smaller side and it loses sun later in the day. Second, be careful when you park. Those spots are notoriously tight. And third, if you're a bit particular about your pillows, one guest suggested requesting extras, as the standard ones are feather-free and might not be for everyone. So when you boil it all down, it really comes to this one question, doesn't it? For your family's trip, is having a spacious suite with a full kitchen, just a short walk from the gates, worth the potential trade-off of an uncomfortable bed and that small but real risk of service issues? That's the decision. And honestly, only you know what's best for your crew. We hope this breakdown helped you figure it out. Thanks for watching.